This week, it's all about change. A change up top, that is. In Pro Moto, we have 2 new leaders. Plus, we go deeper with Jason Wygant. More change when this happened in ATV MX. Result, a red plate swap. Moto America was at Road America with the top 2 splitting the wins. And more miles for AMA Pro Flat Track, 135 miles an hour with no brakes? Yep, we have that too. All that and more only on the Racer X Show. Hey, what's up? Thanks for checking in on us. I'm Greg, and this is the Racer X Show. Just back from Denver, Colorado, and the Pro Motocross races. Man, what a great Saturday it was for racing. And some crazy stuff happened, but we'll talk to Weege about that in a bit. Plus, MotoGP update and more. So let's get moving.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acerbis, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
We begin with our motocross segment presented by Acerbis and round 3 of the 2015 Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship, where so far 3 riders have emerged winners. Red Bull KTM's Marvin Musquin, Yamalube Star Racing Yamaha's Jeremy Martin, and on the big bikes, Geico Honda's Eli Tomac. But things would change big in both classes. Here's Jason Wygant and Grant Langston with the story.
Outside the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado, it's round 3 of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing, the True Value Thunder Valley National. Let's show you big battles early, and they really were fighting the track as much as each other. Jesse Nelson, here he is in second place, bounces off the track. Marvin Musquin takes over second place, and then he's going to have a crash a little later. This is Ryan Brees going down. Joey Savacci. It's just kept piling up, and then finally the big one, Musquin in second, your series points leader, would eventually finish this one in 14th. Lost a lot of time trying to shake out the cobwebs, get back up front. Through all of this, Jeremy Martin had grabbed the whole shot, took off, and wins the first moto. He's the defending series champ, getting himself right back in it, because you will not see Musquin here in the top 10. Zach Osborne, awesome ride for second, and Jesse Nelson, that's his first actual moto podium of the year. He was on the overall podium last week after a pair of fourths. And how about Christian Craig?
Really impressed.
Wow, 4th place. Impressive, and he had to come from behind to do it, starting about 10th. Cianciarulo, pretty solid performance. That's actually his best of the year so far with a 5th. Jeremy Martin gets the start. Chris Aldridge to the back, unfortunately, is down. You give Martin the whole shot, uh-oh, he's going to get away. Now, the good story, see the number 25 here? This is before this race. Huge crash for Marvin Musquin in our first race. They fixed the bike. He recovers to finish a solid second in this one. He's definitely hurting, and the bike was twisted. Good job with him. Now, down the stretch, a battle for 3rd overall. The 50 on the green. Adam Cianciarulo makes the pass as the white flag comes out. The last lap begins. He gets around Jordan Smith. That should be enough to put him on the podium. Good job of the young kid to fight for it. Meanwhile, Jeremy Martin, like we said, whole shot, that makes it easy on him. This guy is unstoppable today. He wins both motos here at Thunder Valley. Here are your overall results. You see Cianciarulo wins the tiebreaker with Nelson for that podium spot, because the second moto was the tiebreaker. Up front early was Ken Roczen. Wrestled the lead away from Ryan Dungey, but while those two battled, you had Tomac lurking back there in 3rd. Good race for the number 1 spot. Roczen just able to seal off Dungey, but then Tomac gets Dungey, and then it goes from bad to worse for the 5.
Yeah, Dungey just gets a little cross-rided there off the track, just trying to get it back under control. Find the nearest opening, sneaks through the bandits there, but loses a couple positions, and more importantly, valuable time. So he's got his work cut out. But here, the lead. Tomac gets to the inside. Roczen unable to get the inside line. Tomac seals the deal right there. And the rest was history. Eli Tomac just ran away with this one once again.
Yeah, absolutely. No challengers for him down the stretch. He wins by 14 seconds, which is big, but less big than the previous 4 motos this year, if that means anything. Baggett gets to 4th, and Tickle passes Anderson late. He was 6th, ends up 5th. Good job by him. Barsha 7th, Seeley, Brayton, and Nicoletti round out the top 10. The big story coming into this race, Eli Tomac, dominating all the races so far. Dominating this one, out front, all by himself, no trouble, and then a huge crash.
And he slammed the ground.
Oh,
Jason, that's the thing. He comes in a rough start, and Eli is hurt, and
he's out of the race.
We hope it's just this race for the series.
They're holding his arm. He took his boot off. He's hurting for sure. Ken Roczen looked like he was going to inherit the victory after that. Then with 2 laps to go, he falls down. Here comes Dungey. He's going to catch him in second. There he is. Battle is on for the lead. Dungey is able to wrestle it from Roczen. Look at Roczen, though. He's going to try this outside. But now the track had gotten too rough out there, and those bumps right there cost him. So he's going to try to come back on Dungey here. Tucks the front, loses traction, goes down, throws away that chance at the overall victory. So through it all, Ryan Dungey at one point a distant third wins here in Colorado, and on top of that, he will inherit your championship points lead. It's a scenario that we have seen happen time and time again with Ryan Dungey, maybe the most consistent rider really in the history of this game. His Uncle People does this over and over. He sets the bar, leaves it up there all 12 rounds.
Well, since Jason is our #1 insider for Pro Motocross, let's welcome him back to the Racer X Show. Welcome back, Jay.
Good to be on as always.
Okay, look, let's jump in. We're a quarter of the way through the Pro Motocross season. What are some of the things that you're seeing that you expected to see, and those things that are surprising you right now?
I actually don't think it has been a year of surprises. I think in the 250s, everyone knew that Martin and Musquin would really be the contenders, and maybe also Cooper Webb. Webb's out with an injury, so the fact that those two have won the first 3 races, I don't think is a shock. I do think it's cool, though, that we're starting to see, I think slowly but surely, who Jeremy Martin really is, and I think maybe you've even seen it yourself in those press conferences. He's pretty thick-headed. He's got a lot of confidence in himself, and for as much as a aw shucks kind of down-home Minnesota guy, so it doesn't let on, he's not cocky or anything, but I think he has a lot of belief in himself that this is his championship. So I think maybe we've seen that come out a little bit, which is maybe a surprise because Supercross wasn't great for him, but not a huge shock. And in the 450s, Roczen and Tomac and Dungey are the guys essentially that are going to be battling for this, so I don't think that's a huge shock either. Obviously, what happened to Tomac at Thunder Valley is a surprise. You don't expect these things to happen in a blink of an eye, but overall, I think most of the riders have pretty much performed the way we'd expect them to perform, I think.
Touching on what happened to Eli Tomac, I mean, he looked like an alien, like he was from another planet. Ryan Dungey alluded to it in a post-race press conference that the tracks are rough this year and that you really have to ride on the edge more than ever before. Was it a shocker when Tomac took a big tumble, or was it something that you kind of saw coming?
No, I absolutely did not see that coming. I know a lot of people now are going to point out that Tomac had some crashes in Supercross this year and say, this is what Tomac does. But he really doesn't. Outdoors, he pretty much never crashes out of races. He won the 250 title in 2013, so he's proven he can do this.
All right, now we move away from the west into the east, Muddy Creek in Tennessee. Do you see anything being different than what we've seen so far?
No, I don't think there's going to be an absolutely massive difference in east to west, which is kind of surprising because out of all the East Coast tracks, Muddy Creek is one of the ones that the guys probably rode the most growing up. They have so many big amateur races, and almost anyone who's grown up in the East has raced that track a lot. There's some tracks, like, say, Unadilla, that you can't even get on unless you're racing as a pro. But even with that, I think at this point in the year, you're already starting to see the wild swings are kind of gone. Everyone's figuring their bikes out, figuring their training out. So I don't think it's going to be a massive change. Obviously, the #1 question is Tomac's health. Can he come back? At this point early in the week, there's just no way to know. What I am hearing is that he dislocated one shoulder, but he landed pretty hard in the other one also. So he's got 2 things that he's got to deal with.
Okay, Jason, how about the TV stuff that's going on this weekend?
Yeah, well, the big deal is for this Tennessee one, it's our first live show on NBC, the actual Rabbit Ears regular non-cable network. So that's 2 Eastern. We'll have the second 450 Moto. Hopefully we have a pretty good race there. It seems to be shaping up that way. We really have a series on our hands in the 450 class. So first Moto is MAV TV like always. Second 450 Moto on NBC. Second 250 Moto NBCSN. Or just go to promotocross.com and you can watch everything there if this is too confusing for you.
All right, thanks, Jason. I will see you Friday. Safe travels.
All right, see you in Tennessee.
Like Jason said, here's our TV schedule for the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship, MAV TV for Moto #1, and the flagship NBC network live for Moto 2. Looking forward to that. And that is our motocross segment presented by Acerbi. Now it's time for our road race segment brought to you by Yoshimura, where the Yoshimura Suzuki guys, Roger Hayden and Jake Lewis, raced up the Monster Energy Grave Yamahas of Josh Hayes and Cameron Beaubier, along with the rest of the Moto America Superbike field in Wisconsin this weekend. That was Road America. The Superbike class races twice on Sundays with individual scoring, not moto-type scoring. And when the action got underway, it was last week's Racer X Show interview, number 85, Jake Lewis, who got a great launch. But in tow, number 1 is Hayes, number 6, championship points leader Beaubier. Early on, both Beaubier and Hayes got around the 19-year-old from Kentucky. Mid-race, it was Beaubier out front, which started the two teammates going back and forth. That was until this happened. Hayes hard on the gas. That, my friends, is called a high side. Ouch. He'd be okay. That left Hayden chasing Beaubier to the finish. But too much distance for the Suzuki to make up. Beaubier and his new R1 with the win. Hayes was able to continue and salvage 6th, collecting 10 points. And part-timer Chris Fillmore on the KTM RC8, a solid 5th. But how about you, Cam?
It was good. I struggling a little bit with the wind out there, but yeah, I was able to bring it home in first place for my guy.
Superbike Race 2 was not as exciting as Race 1, as a bruised Josh Hayes would come back from bouncing on the deck to a 4.5-second victory over Beaubier, with the fastest overall race time, faster than Race 1. Jake Lewis with another podium finish, beating his teammate for that spot, Elena Myers on the Suzuki GSX-R 1000 in 8th. One full race plus a point, the margin from Cam to Josh. Lewis and Hayden having a points battle of their own in 3rd. And MotoGP raced up Mugello, Italy, where over 90,000 fans, including Keanu Reeves, showed up to see movie star Yamaha's Jorge Lorenzo put on a clinic, winning by a margin of 5.5 seconds, his 3rd win in a row. Italian rider on an Italian motorcycle, Andrea Iannone on the factory Ducati, finished 2nd in front of local hero Valentino Rossi on the Yamaha. World champion Marc Marquez crashed out battling for 2nd with 6 laps to go. American Nicky Hayden crashed and didn't finish either. Lorenzo is closing in on Rossi for that number 1 spot. Rossi needs another win to keep it going. Check out the 1-hour highlight show from Road America, Moto America on CBS Sports Network Sunday, 2 p.m. East, 11 a.m. for you West Coast folks. And that is our road race segment, brought to you by Yoshimura. More now with AMA Pro Flat Track and another mile venue, this time in Sacramento, California, where the question stands, can anyone stop Crosley Radio's Brian Smith and his Kawasaki EX650? If you're looking for the 42 Smith in the Premier GNC1 class, well, he started on the 2nd row, sometimes a race killer on the miles. But after a good start, Smith worked his way to 2nd early on. But number 44 is Brandon Robinson on the latest Motorsports Triumph. And heading into the final lap, he had what looked like a huge lead to Scotty Dubler and Chris Carr with the call.
So it is Robinson out front, the 44. He's off the corner first. He gets tucked in as small as he can. Here comes Smith on the 42 Kawasaki. He's got help with Crosley Radio. Here they come into 3. Smith's going to make a bid for it. Robinson shuts the door. Smith's going to elect to duck in line and try to draft past off the final corner. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is what we waited for. Smith looking for his 5th in a row. Robinson looking for his 1st on the Triumph. Here they come off before. Smith trying to make the draft pass. He goes around the outside. Robinson's going to try to hang on to it. It's going to be Smith getting his 5th in a row here at the Sacramento Mile.
The margin of victory, 0.02 of a second. Defending champ Mies able to snag 3rd. But it was Smith who has the hot hand.
Man, that was five years in a row, and that was by far the hardest one. I mean, look at my tire, it's bald. There was smoke rolling off everybody's rear tire the last couple laps, and it was fun, but it was nerve-wracking.
Coolbest 5th keeps him out front, but here comes Mies, Robinson, and Smith. Things are tightening up. You'll see all the top names from AMA Pro Flat Track racing up on Thursday, ESPN Network for X Games Flat Track. Then on Friday, catch all the stars of Endurocross integrated right in with X Games. All that airs on ESPN. The halfway point of the Mountain Dew ATV Motocross National Championship crowned a brand new winner at the inaugural visit to Ironman Raceway in Crawfordsville, Indiana. A consistent afternoon in a variety of conditions paid off for Maxxis Yamaha, powered by moto expert rider Thomas Brown. The net result, his first moto win of the year and his first overall. And here's how it happened. With rain in the area, Moto 1 got off dry. Now, the fast qualifier Joel Hetrick, who's been hot as of late and leading the points, started off the day where he left off at high point. As the Moto 1 gate dropped, the Hetrick Racing Corrosion Specialties Honda got out front as he shot out to the SSI decals hole shot and quickly left the rest of the field in his dust. Behind Hetrick, a battle ensued between the Yamaha duo of Brown and reigning AMA Pro ATV champ Chad Wienen. The pair swapped the 2 final podium positions several times before Wienen ultimately pulled away aboard his Wienen Motorsports Yamaha for second. When the checkered flag flew, Hetrick had a sizable margin of victory, 6.2 seconds over Wienen and Brown. This is how they finished. All eyes were on the sky because an hour and a half later it was Moto 2 time. Well, 3 hours on this day. That was because prior to the start of the second moto, thunderstorms and lightning passed through the area. Can't race with lightning, folks. So, once the crew had finished working on the track, riders prepared to attack the wet conditions. Getting out front with clear vision was Josh Upperman grabbing the whole shot, but after the first few corners, it was Brown, Wienen, and Hetrick who made their way past Upperman. It was desperate times for Hetrick trying to race up Wienen, but then disaster for the points leader. He goes down and had a hard time getting his quad back on 4 wheels. With the treacherous conditions making passing difficult, Brown held off his former teammate Wienen to win the moto and the overall. 3-1 is better than 2-2, and a 14th place charge from Hetrick nets him 4th. But today was the mud specialist day, Thomas Brown.
We threw our mud setup on, which we knew was on point, and I'm just stoked to get a win here, and I hope to carry it on to Walnut, where I took a win last year, see if we can do it again.
So a change at the top as Chad Wienen gets the red number plate backing back. But it's only by 10 points, and with Hetrick on fire in the dry, it'll be interesting to see how the second half of this season goes. Sunday's Pro-Am was a mudfest all day, which lent itself to a double win and, of course, the overall by Wisconsin's Sam Rowe. The top Honda bested Nico Cavi on the Yamaha as Cavi went 2-3, with a solid 5-2 by Brett Musick for third. The points have Nick Janusa leading the way, 21 ahead of them all. That after a 6-6 for 5th overall. You can catch ATV MX on MAV TV television network on Saturday, June 6th. Ironically, it's from Muddy Creek where it was dry. That's 10:30 a.m. East, 9:30 Central. Also, you can catch GNCC from Sunday Creek Raceway in Ohio live on RacerTV.com both Saturday and Sunday. So keep it locked right here. Here's the race calendar. Get out and watch Pro Motocross at Muddy Creek in Blountville, Tennessee this Saturday. You gotta go. GNCC stops in Ohio for round 8, round 4 for the UTVs. They are fun to watch. World Superbike races up Portugal. See American PJ Jacobsen now on a Honda. AMA Pro Hill Climb. Motors up a hill in Freemansburg, Pennsylvania. Bucket list race right there, people. Endurocross, dirt track, and more at X Games in Austin, Texas this weekend. And speaking of Texas, Scramble Cross gives it another try on Sunday. Go race, go watch, go have fun.
The Racer X Show with Greg White is being presented by Acerbis, Soul and Passion, and by Yoshimura, the leader in performance exhausts.
Okay, that'll do it for us this time. We hope you enjoyed the show. I know it takes a hardcore fan to watch all the way to the end, and we appreciate it, so feel free to share it with everyone you know. So for the fine crew here at the Racer X Show and Racer TV, I'm Greg. Remember, we are all racing all the time. See you at the races.